Tributes continuing to pour in today for former Georgia U.S. Senator Johnny Isakson, who died over the weekend at the age of 76. He served in the U.S. Senate for nearly 15 years, and in his later years, he revealed he was battling Parkinson's disease and retired to focus on his health. Today, Governor Kemp spoke about the man who dedicated his life to public service.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. He's been a great servant, not only for our state, but for this country. He's left both of them better off, and we'll continue to keep Diane and his children and grandchildren in our thoughts and prayers.
Many remembering Johnny Isakson as a humble, bipartisan giant of Georgia politics.
Tonight, 11 Alive's Doug Richards has a look back through the eyes of a man Isakson mentored.
Well, for a long time, Johnny Isakson was one of the few Republicans at the state capitol, which may help explain why he is now remembered as kind of a contradiction, a conservative true believer who still found ways to work with Democrats.
And as a younger man growing up in politics, I wanted to be like Johnny Isakson.
Chris Carr is now Attorney General of Georgia. When Johnny Isakson unsuccessfully ran for the U.S. Senate 25 years ago, Carr interned on the campaign and was campaign manager when Isakson ran again and won 8 years later.
Johnny was smart, he was wise, he was humble, and he was personable. And he's one of the most successful politicians who hated the politics of politics.
Carr eventually became Isakson's U.S. Senate Chief of Staff. A photo of Carr with Isakson and Democratic Congressman John Lewis helps tell the story of Isakson as a stubbornly bipartisan character in a sharply divided U.S. Capitol.
You know, one of the things I'll never forget was sitting with Johnny during the Obama administration. Somebody came in and said, well, Johnny, why don't we see you, on Fox News more throwing bombs? And he says, when I was in real estate, I had to get a willing seller and a willing buyer, but I never made a deal by calling names.
Isakson remained a Republican who stuck hard to conservative doctrine. At the same time, he gained a loyal following among Democrats like Congressman David Scott, who worked across the aisle with Isakson and endorsed him over a Democrat in Isakson's final Senate race.
I've always voted for Johnny Isakson. He's my friend, he's my partner. We've worked together on the Veterans Affairs issues, and I always look out for my partners.
Isakson easily won that race, but Parkinson's disease forced him to exit the Senate before the end of his 6-year term. Carr, who learned politics under Isakson's wing, is now seeking re-election as Attorney General.
There are so many people that have been interns or have worked for him, or that will say, I want to emulate Johnny. I love Johnny. I'm one of them. He was a principled conservative, but he treated people well with humility and believed in the power of relationships.
Carr's wife, Joan, a former Associated Press reporter, also worked on Johnny Isakson's staff in Washington. The praise for Isakson yesterday crossed party lines, just as Senator Isakson himself so often did.
All right, Doug, thank you. And you can read much more about the legacy of Senator Isakson and local leaders' favorite memories of him right now on 11alive.com.